2133, AASC, African Sonic Diaspora. Black and brown pigmented people left planet Earth exploring new galaxies among the stars. It wasn't until then that planet Earth's growth had started to become a hot rock like Mars. Our exodus flow started to throw the globe out of orbit. No one could have guessed it. The black diasporic experience was a life source to the equilibrium of the planet, so things quickly started dying. The crisis of global warming was actually global warming, that spiritually and physically we were already leaving. In outer space, in and out of our inner spaces, our people started flourishing, taking precedence on superplanets named Morpheus, Rocada, and Octavia. 500 years later, we have created an intergalactic colony of Nubia, revealing that we are fulfilling the prophecies of the Mayans and the ancient African
I'm an Afro-astral projection of a chrononaut from a place called Europe, named in honor of the Stars Trap character played by actress Michelle Nicole, who taught us the importance of the reversal of gender roles when she impregnated us with the idea that space is actually an occupiable frontier for Africans. I'm from a place where planets in our galaxies are named after astral pioneers, like John Stewart, the first black Green Lantern, and like Tata Guin Bluford, who started our physical ascension into space in 1983. Our largest planet in our Nubian galaxy system is named after Dr. Mae Jemison, and we hold the highest regards for Octavia Butler, who gave names to many of our worlds and moons. See, she planted a seed for our hunger, for expedition of our stars grew. And many of our sons are named after Sophia Stewart, the creator of the third eye, and the theorist behind the Matrix concepts, and Terminator 1 and 2, Through my research, I realized and learned that none of them knew that somewhere through space, traveling through time, we lost our Ubuntu. With our mind, we found our Umoja in our climb, but we became spines. Sapiens with quines embedded in our spine. You see, the issue that has developed in time is that we begin to become cyborgs, losing our humanity by losing our ability to be creatively inclined. Our written language was no longer semiotics but codes, shared like pragmatics, mental text messages, wireless internal ethernets, like cerebral cortexes. By 3014 AASD, everyone thought in binary codes. 0111 that translate as where I'm from, everyone is pigmented due to our revolving seven suns. But despite the Afro-politician cyboric transition, the only thing to remind us of our humanity was the only thing that prevented us from becoming one with machines. And this issue all started when artists in the 21st century stopped creating avant-garde art, which resulted in people of color losing their way. So by the time we got to living in space, we were already programmed to live in one way. That was to survive and to strive. But we only started to survive and forgot to strive. So, but despite the Afro-politician cyboric transition, we realized realized there was only one thing that reminded us of our humanity. The only thing that prevented us from becoming one with machines, because despite the fact that we started to think in codes orally, we spoke in boom, 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 beats. Very much like ancient griots and African sheiks, or kind of like Agent J and Biz Markie in Men in Black 2. You see, in the galactic Nubian soul system, we abandon every Eurocentric STEM language and return back to our roots. Back to when we communicated through the pulses and frequencies of drum beating, transmitting messages like a telegram between villages, storing stories and insights through rhythms, patterns, and phrases. See, after we left Earth, we relearned our telepathic abilities. And we realized that the most efficient form of communication was through frequencies. But in my research of our people, I further learned of the influences of the creative frequency language that kept us alive with our humanity, stemmed from outcast AT aliens and sonic art of Sun Ra's orchestra and George Clinton's Parliament Funkadelic Mothership Connection and Lee Scratch Perry's Black Art Reverb Obscurities, and African Bombarda Soul Force, Planet Rock, and Janelle Monáe's Metropolis, and Danillo McCallum's Dream Guardians, and Wanjichi Mutu, out of these world collages. You see, artist art allowed us to think that we just might be able to achieve astral travel through black thought. And through my research, I learned that our ancestors who were enslaved utilized this the most when they were working on plantation plots, finding the cosmogramma and becoming flying lotuses. Well, you see, by 3014 AASD, our language became our only art that allowed us to communicate from the heart. Our language became the only art that allowed us to communicate from our heart. But by 3014 AASD, building a galactic society in a galaxy without any artists caused us to become settlers of a lost cause. But Octavia Butler said in The Last Angels of History that there is nothing more alien than the black experience. But I'm glad in this century that Africans and African descendants are recreating, re-imaging, redesigning those stories. And this is why I traveled here for a whole galactic kilo year, back through time, black from the future, like an African Marty McFly, like porcelain modified me, to encourage artists to be novelties of their time. For the future genesis occurs as chimerical islands within the mind. For art is a mirror of the universe. And we travel to the future through it. But you see, we cannot create change in the future if we are not first created. For somewhere in space, traveling through time, we lost our Ubuntu. With our mind, we found our Umoja in our climb. But that's because we realized that we are the gods of our time. I mean, somewhere in space, traveling through time, we found our Ubuntu. With our mind, we found our Umoja. In our climb, becoming creators of our time. Boom, 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 0111 011 0111 011 0111 011 For somewhere in space, traveling through time, we found our Ubuntu. With our mind, we found our Umoja. In our climb, for we are the creators of our time. For somewhere in space, traveling through time, we found our Umoja. In our climb, we found our Ubuntu. In our climb, becoming creators of our time, becoming the pharaohs of our time, becoming the griots of our time, becoming the future. of this time.